I'm joined by Dr. Talat. He is an ex-Jamaat member and now contesting from Pulwama constituency. Formerly a scientist and agriculture scientist, Dr. Talat has a PhD in agriculture sciences. He quit the job and then joined Apni party. Now he has embraced democracy. Former member of the Jamaat-e-Islami, a proponent of electoral politics in Kashmir. Today, uh, four candidates from Jamaat-Islami are now in the fray. This speaks volumes about how the political landscape in Jammu and Kashmir has changed post Article 370, and also it tells us the trajectory that the political landscape and the politics of Jammu and Kashmir is likely to take in the future. So, Dr. Sahab, you are a ex-member of Jamaat Islami. Now, Jamaat is under the ban for the last many years now. So, you are a member of Jamaat Islami. Now, you have decided to contest the elections. What motivated you to join the polls?
Basically, it is not today that I am of the view that we have to contest the polls. I am of this opinion from 2014 that Jamaat should take part in the mainstream politics or electoral politics. Because from 2008, I was of the opinion that we should take so many things in consideration so far as the Kashmir politics or Kashmir issue, whatever you say that, is considered yes. You have to keep in mind some other things also, like the present geopolitical scenarios. So far as the Kashmir politics is concerns, we have to take the total geopolitical scenario of the area in view. Why the geopolitical scenario has an important role when you are going to discuss the Kashmir or the Kashmir politics, you have to keep those things in mind. There is a typical geostrategic position of the Kashmir. It is located between the three atomic powers. The China is on one side, India is on other side, Pakistan is on the other side, and there is one more geostrategic located area, that is Afghanistan. So while being in Kashmir, you have to consider the whole scenario and you have to make your strategies as per the geopolitical scenario. And I was of the opinion from 2014 that we should take part in the electoral politics or the mainstream politics. Whatever we have to gain or whatever we can achieve, it is the only means of the mainstream politics. Otherwise, you are going to lose those things which are already with you. And that view came true in 2019 when 370 was abrogated. So these things, keeping these things in view, I was of the opinion, and later the Jamaat decided that we should take part in the electoral politics. But unfortunately, the ban was not lifted by the center, so they have decided they are going to support the independent candidates. And the question is, who are those independent candidates? If the Jamaat may have entered in the mainstream politics on their own name, the prerequisites that they are going to decide whom we are going to give the mandate for a typical constituency for the candidature, to decide the candidature of any candidate. So they will see those things which are going to see them in their own candidate. Now, I was already affiliated with the Jamaat, and I have already resigned from the government job for the sake of the Jamaat. I joined the Apni party at that time because no other political party other than the Apni party, they provided me the platform to tell the story from the lion's mouth. This was the only Altaf Sahab who provided me the platform at that time. Now, unfortunately ban was not lifted, and Jamaat has decided they are going to support the independent candidates. And I was the first candidate among those candidates who are going filed the nomination on 27th of the last month. So these are the things, those things who compelled us, yeah, compelled me to participate in the election.
So, what do you say to the people or voices who say Jamaat has fielded independent candidates because it wants to get the ban lifted, and it wants to, because of the pressure from central agencies like NIA, ED. There is so much of pressure we have seen after the revocation of Article 370. So, you want to get back to the original position that and Jamaat was. So, this is Jamaat is doing it only to gain what it has lost post Article
These
370
are the views of the people who are of the view that Jamaat should not be
in the mainstream.
in the mainstream. When you are going to discuss these things, then the whole thing around us on the 87 elections.
Okay.
Then you have to come back on 87 and discuss the Kashmir from that. So they are the people who are of the view Jamaat should not be in the mainstream politics, because it was a huge conspiracy in 87 against the Jamaat that they have shrinked the space for the Jamaat in the mainstream politics. So these are the things which you have to keep in mind. And only to lift the ban, Jamaat is going to contest the elections. It is not true. It is because of the larger interest of the national interest, in the larger interest of nation, in the larger interest of the nation. We have to save our youth. We have to save our identity. We have to save our dignity. We have to save, first of all, we have to save the human resource. So these are the reasons who compelled us to come in the mainstream, because I told you earlier that whatever we can achieve, it is the only democratic way. Only through democratic means, whatever you can or whatever you can do, you have to do within the ambit of the constitution of the land, within the law of the land, and within the ambit of that constitution. You can achieve so many things. It is not only 370 and other things.
And what are the issues on which you are fighting this election?
I am fighting on so many issues. First of all, I am going to tell the people that we have to fight to establish a political stable society.
Politically stable society.
Yes, politically stable society. Second is we have to save our youth. We should not allow our youth to become the scapegoats or the cannon fodder for the confusion which has been created. So we will fight on education and economy. My whole agenda is education and economy. These two things, when these two things will come in your hand, you can achieve so many things that you have lost.
Lastly, I want to ask you, what do you say to the people who say that Jamaat, who has been supporting a hard stance, rather than this particular stance that you've now taken, embrace democracy. You have been supporting militancy. You have been a proponent of militancy in the past. So many youth lost their lives. What do you say to those families now who say that, look, Jamaat is a double-faced organization? Yesterday they were supporting militancy and the gun, and today they say we are, we embrace democracy, we believe in constitution. What do you say to those voices and those people?
Is Jamaat have any role in bringing gun in Kashmir? First of all, we should talk about that.
Okay.
There was no role of Jamaat-e-Islami in bringing the gun in the Kashmir.
Okay.
Second, was it only Jamaat-e-Islami who has the armored wing? There were so many political or religious organizations of that time who have the armed wings.
Okay.
Al-Barq was one of the militant organization. Whose organization was that? Al-Umar Mujahideen was another organization. Whose armed wing was that? There was one more organization that called known as Tehreek-ul-Mujahideen. Whose militant organization was that? There are so many factors. You can't blame only Jamaat. the whole society, the whole valley was involved in that process. And individually, the particular members of the Jamaat or individual workers of the Jamaat, they jump into militancy. It is not only the Jamaat who jumped into militancy or bring gun in the valley. So there is a role of every person who was living in the Kashmir.
Okay.
We all were, as a society, as a nation, we were all very involved in that process. It is not only Jamaat, but the people forget those, or they were of the opinion that we should not take gun, and they left the gun and bring themselves in other got busy in so many
Other things.
other parties. Are it was only Jamaat who was affiliated with the Hizbul Mujahideen. Otherwise, Jamaat in 1998, when the first ban was lifted in 1998, the Amir Jamaat of that time, Ghulam Ahmad Bhatt Sahab, who clearly declared in a press conference that we don't have any militant organization and we have nothing to do with the militancy.
Okay.
So we should keep those things in mind.
So you are contesting this election as an independent.
Yeah.
Post-election, if you get elected, what would be your agenda? Where are you going to put your weight behind? Which party you will be supporting? There is an alliance between NC Congress, there is BJP, then there are other parties. So which party or which alliance you will
It is not my domain to decide early that if I am going to win, whom will I support. It will be decided in the Shura, as it has been decided that the candidate A, candidate B and candidate C are independent candidates of the Jamaat. Those people will also decide at their time if we are going to win, or if we will win from those constituencies. Then the panel of the Jamaat will decide at that time whom we are going to support.
Okay.
It is not my domain.
Okay.
It will be decided by the Jamaat leadership.
By Jamaat
Jamaat Shura, it will be decided by the panel, it will be decided by the Jamaat leadership.
Okay.
That are they going to be in the opposition, or they will sit in
support a ruling party.
yes, supporting ruling
And
party.
lastly, one question: why is Jamaat fielding only 3 candidates? Since Jamaat has presence all over Kashmir.
No, we have fielded 4 candidates. Yesterday, an official statement of the Jamaat, then we are going to support Ejaz Ahmad Mir, independent candidate from Zanapura constituency also.
Okay.
And it was in the first phase because there was less time that we decided. We have decided a lot of things at that time, but the time was not enough for us. So we decided that we will nominate only 3 candidates. Then yesterday a decision was taken by the Shura that they are going to support Ejaz Mir also. That there are 4 constituencies where we are going to contest elections. The second phase is coming, and the Shura and the panel, they will decide whom they are going to give the they are going to support
Next phase.
in next phase in other constituencies also.
Okay.
That you will come to know at that time.